right. I think we're ready to start.
All right.
All right, we're going to go. I'm going to click start. Oh, and now we are live. Welcome to another exciting episode, or live stream, I should say, of Esoterica the Podcast. I'm Aaron Christian.
I'm Chris Schultz, and we got a couple guests on tonight. Below me is Justin. Hi, Justin.
You know what's funny about that, Chris, is on the live stream, nobody's below you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no, it's not like that on there.
I'm talking.
Yeah, you're just.
So
nice
I'm going to switch over and look. So we have two of our regular listeners, George and Justin, on with us tonight. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Why am
I don't know. Why are you?
Why are you? So thank you for tuning in. Looks like we have two people joining us at the moment. Chris, say words.
Words.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm configuring a few things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just trying to find this on Facebook. I'm sorry. So this is going to be interesting because we're broadcasting live via Zoom tonight, which is exciting and awesome. But we need to watch this on Facebook to see people's reactions.
Chris, say words.
I got to turn the volume off on that. So, hi, everybody. Oh, it looks like my sister's here. Says hi. Hi, Jen. So I guess I'll throw the first question out to everybody. How are you surviving the great pandemic of 2020 so far?
This goes out to people on here, too.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to pipe
do you really want to know? Well, as we talked earlier before the beginning of the show, if you're going to a laundromat, go by yourself. Don't bring your family of five, please.
Right. And I understand that people probably don't have babysitters now because of this,
but leave one of the parents at home and the responsible parent bring all the laundry. It's not that difficult.
And how much trouble can your kids get to at home right now? Because there's not a lot going on.
Well, if they have fire, they can get into a lot of trouble. Just saying. I was a kid once. I know. But it was, aside from that, I'm surviving the pandemic quite well. I have my going out mask, and not to mention I have a ton of masks in my work truck and gloves and.
Nice.
It's like the American Express card. Oh, you can't see this, but it's hand sanitizer. It's like the American Express card. I don't leave home without it.
Nice. That's the one thing I need to get. I saw an instructional video on YouTube the other day. Some woman cut a sock into a mask, and I don't know what kind of sock she was using, but I could not replicate that at home.
She had a really stretchy sock. Like, I don't know any sock that expands that much.
Yeah, I'm thinking that or like tube socks. You might need a tube sock so it's big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Justin, how you holding up?
I'm doing good. Work's been weird because it's been an adjustment because I work in food because I work at a sub shop. So gotta wear the masks all the time now, gloves. We already had to wear gloves, but
you look ridiculous with your Snapchats. I just want to say.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous because the mask I got, like, they had a bag of masks, and it's like, grab one. And I grabbed it, and it's way too big for me. Like, ridiculously too large. So it's just like, I look like a clown, pretty much.
And then when you put the mask on, you look ridiculous too, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Same thing, man. Yeah.
Same for you. Yeah, that's a nice comeback.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know, I've been taking advantage of being home the last couple of days to binge watch Twin Peaks all the way back from the beginning. So I think I got 4 hours of the original series left, season 2, and then on to season 3. I feel like that's productive use of my time.
That is very
I would
productive.
say so.
Yeah, I haven't been binge watching anything. I started that silly tiger thing or whatever. Oh my God. Yeah. I got like
Wasn't that
halfway,
the episode on tonight for that?
I got halfway
I
through
saw-
the
I
first
saw it.
episode. And
Oh my
yeah,
god, that's
and
messed up.
I can't believe somebody actually paid money to make that, let alone put it out there.
I'm really concerned that that's going to be the epitaph of America. I guess where this virus is going to take us all out. Humanity's extinct, and that's how we'll be remembered as friggin' Joe Exotic.
Well, I don't know. All the memes I've seen of 2020 going to hell in a handbasket, I can believe it. I mean, you think about it. Rush lost their drummer to cancer. WAAF went off the air and is now replaced by Christian music. We've got a pandemic, and Tiger King was number 1 on Netflix.
Right.
Yeah. Let's set this thing ablaze and kick it off the shelf. See what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Like I was thinking about the kids today, if you will. Like for anybody of an older generation, we have defining moments. Things that happened that were a cultural touch point. The boomers had the assassination of JFK. Gen X, we had the 9/11, and then for this current generation, it's going to be a great non-event. Like this is a thing that's happening, but it's not one particular moment. It's just like
Thanks for just shitting on my whole generation.
What did you guys have? Huh?
9/11?
What?
Not even. That wasn't even me.
Aaron, don't even pull that, bro.
Hey, just because I was alive doesn't mean I remember it. Is that sad?
That's kind of sad.
Yeah. And Chris, don't forget, we also had the blizzard of 78, which kept us locked up for what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, 9/11, yes, it stopped air travel, and it was a very traumatic event in the country. But locally, for us, we were locked in to our. It's not like we could just like go out because you had to shovel your way out. At least my house, we did, because it was 6 feet of snow at the door. I wasn't allowed to go out. I was only 3 feet tall at the time. But yeah, we were locked up. What did we do? We had no internet.
Oh my God, yeah, we didn't.
There was no cell phones.
TV.
There was one TV, no remote. I was the remote.
No VCRs.
No VCRs because it was 78.
You guys know what a VCR is?
Yeah.
That is.
Hey, we're not that young, all right?
That's pre-DVD, folks. Pre-streaming service. But yeah,
I used VCR for the decent amount of my youth, so don't even give me that.
Okay, fine. Fine. But I mean, kids today, it's like they have an iPad, they have a computer, an iPhone, whatever. I'm bored. Don't make me. Don't make me. My boredom was squelched by doing puzzles with my parents with a hurricane lamp, because there was no electricity during that blizzard for a good 4 or 5 days. But yeah, so I mean, to say you're bored, just don't go there.
You're right.
Nope.
Yeah.
I played Traffic Jam with my Matchbox cars. That's what I
did that too.
Now we don't play, we just do it.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
Because Boston is 1 hour away from Boston.
Yes.
Except for today. I had to go to a friend's house over in Dorchester today from Taunton. It took about 40 minutes, door to door.
Mm.
And you get off at the Granite Ave exit to go to his house. And let me tell you, usually on a Sunday, that exit it takes forever to get from East Milton to that exit. Not today.
I remember Chris and I getting angry at work because we listened to Braintree to whatever, probably downtown is like, what, 30 minutes?
Yep.
Not even 15?
My cousin. Oh, yeah. I know. I've almost want to be driving to Boston just so I can experience that.
Mm.
Even though I have no reason whatsoever to drive to Boston right now.
Yeah, our Marshfield the split or something like that. It was like 10 minutes. It's insane.
Oh, I know. It's like every day I go to work, jumping on 495 and 95, it feels like a Sunday with the limited amount of traffic that's out there. I mean, so, okay, so this thing, I guess this thing does have its bonuses.
Well, apparently, like pollution levels are down worldwide, and you can see things that you couldn't see before. So,
Like the Himalayas. I actually read an article somewhere, or not even an article, just the headline that the Himalayas can actually be seen now because of the smog level is so low.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mother Nature has finally said, you know what? I'm tired of this case of lice. Shoveling it off.
Exactly.
Mankind is a virus.
Oh, look, you can even see the Golden Gate Bridge. Anyhow.
Wacky.
Becky.
Yes, say hey to Joe Manley. Yeah, I'm in the Black Lodge. That gum I like is coming back in style, from what I heard.
What gum would that be?
Actually, blackjack. Maybe?
Oh my God. I haven't heard of that since like forever.
You like blackjack, maybe?
I like or clove. I have clove gum upstairs right now.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Old man gum.
Yeah, it had a weird graphic on it.
It's like the stuff you buy at a penny candy store.
Yeah, it's almost as it was almost as good as Fruit Stripes.
Beemans.
Fruit Stripe gum, you know, I don't know if I can't remember if blackjack was flavor lasting just as long as Fruit Stripe gum, but Fruit Stripe was like 10 minutes and you were done with it.
Yeah, the little zebra on it.
Yep.
When I was a kid, it was Hubba Bubba. I was a big fan of Hubba Bubba.
Best one was Big League Chew.
I one time got a whole package of Big League Chew in my mouth at once.
I don't know if that's something I'd be proud of.
Well, that sounds so hard.
I was proud of it. I had the whole thing in my mouth, and I slowly chewed it and swallowed it. And I remember, like a grandparent or somebody telling me, you know, that's going to sit in your stomach for 20 years or whatever.
Yep.
Let me tell you, I shit out a block of bubble gum the next day. So.
Wow.
It's not right in my stomach, I can assure you.
Alrighty.
Wow. I was hoping it was going to be a bubble.
This conversation went to shit quick, didn't it?
Oh, doesn't take much.
Nope.
That's what happens when I'm stuck at home.
Well, we're still pretty early on, but do you guys want to hear what we have in store for you today?
Sure, I guess.
So I give up on the background.
Perfect. All right, Chris, you tell them what we're doing.
All right. So I think this hark back to our very first podcast.
Second podcast.
Our second podcast. So on our second podcast, well, Aaron was looking for a Valentine's present.
Yep.
Yeah, Valentine's present for his girlfriend. We were on Etsy and stumbled across a LP titled Dog Police, which led to some momentary hilarity. But Aaron and I have been obsessed with Dog Police ever since. So for the record, Dog Police was a side project for Memphis-based musicians. They were actually progressive jazz musicians, sort of along the lines of Frank Zappa and Mothers of Invention. But to blow off steam, they came up with this Devo-influenced synth pop band, Dog Police. And they had some mild popularity with their video for Dog Police. Aaron, we just listened into the song.
Yeah, just the title track, because everything else is just as weird, and I don't want us to get copyrighted. So.
Okay, so we're only listening to one song. I would strongly recommend checking out the video. It's a typical like proto 80s music video back when MTV was in its infancy. But the interesting fact about the video, and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the information here. It was done by freelance documentary filmmaker Larry McConkey, who later became one of the best-known Steadicam operators in the business and ended up working on movies such as Silence of the Lambs and Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, And in fact, in Goodfellas, this guy was the one that shot the Steadicam shot going through the nightclub. Famous film moment. So before they did any of that, they did Dog Police, which we thought we'd make our audience listen to tonight and hear what everybody thinks of.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it afterwards. Sound good? No one's got objections to that?
No.
Yeah, no objections there.
All right, because if you did, you really don't have a choice.
Yeah, I
It's
kind
our
of thought
show.
so.
Yeah. So, all right. Here is Dog Police, not this band, Dog Police.
Dog police, coming from dog police. Nobody knows who you are. Jumped in my car last Saturday night. Had a blind date, she was out of sight. She was a chick from the canine scene. Her hair was blue, her teeth were green. Drove down to the Lone Star Bar. Scratched her flea as I parked the car. The place was full of punks and dinks. Got a little table and a couple of drinks. Went to the bathroom and combed my hair. Left my baby at the table there. Looked in the mirror and I wiped my nose. And when I came back, what did you suppose? The boys in blue had my baby on the floor. They were asking her if she wanted some more. They pulled out a net, they pulled out a leash. They said they were the dog police. Coming from dog police. Nobody knows who you are. Dog police. Coming from dog police. Nobody knows who you are. I guess I should have noticed that box of milk bones. She sniffed the cups of my stereo phone. She barked so much she was on fire. She went outside and whizzed by my tire. Having those puppies was a little insane, but boy, she loved that gravy train. Next time you're out with a real strange beast, make sure she's not wanted by the dog police. Coming from dog police. Nobody knows who you are. Dog police. Coming from dog police. Nobody knows who you are. Dog police. Coming from dog police. Nobody knows who you are. Dog police. Coming from dog police. Nobody knows who you are.
So yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Anna. I think that's great. I got a lot of Primus vibes from that at some point.
Did I mishear the lyrics, or did they run a gravy train on her?
I think they do.
There was something but a gravy train in there. I heard that.
Yeah, I think she enjoyed the gravy. I don't know.
So I think you nailed your description of this, where it's pretty much Frank Zappa meets Devo. In a way.
Yeah,
That's what I was getting out of a lot of that.
So, like we mentioned in the second podcast, there's actually a TV pilot for this, starring Adam Sandler
Oh,
and
dear.
Jeremy Piven. Don't
and
forget
Jeremy Piven. Yeah.
And so, interestingly enough, Aaron, there was a little bit of information about that in the article, and this is a synopsis of the TV show. It's about a trio of psychic doggy detectives from outer space. And I really don't think I need to say anything more than that.
Mm.
I didn't realize they were psychic or from outer space.
I think my
Okay.
favorite part of this whole song is the human barking. Like they don't even try to sound like dogs.
Yeah, I do have to say that was kind of amusing.
That is true.
Now, do you think it was barking all the way through, or did they just sample it and then just keyboard it the rest of the way?
Oh,
At one point, it was off. Like they weren't in sync, so it can't be. Maybe it was keyboard and somebody messed up, but it can't be the same thing, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. Unless it was a loop that was a little too short and they just played it and said the hell with it.
Right.
I was trying to figure out. It sounded. I don't know if it was just because we're doing this via the internet here, but it seemed like the timing sped up and slowed down a few times during the song.
It might have been from
I
the
got that
internet.
too.
Yeah.
Which
I
makes-
heard it.
If they were
Great.
like Frank Zappa inspired, that wouldn't surprise me because I don't know
No,
if
this is
anyone
true.
listened to Zappa, but he was into some weird stuff.
I tried once, failed miserably, but yeah.
Weasels Will Rip My Flesh is a good album.
I know. I just couldn't wrap my head around Zappa and his oddity.
Hey Aaron, if we ever break out into reviewing movies, we should take a look at 200 Motels. That would be a fun evening.
One season at a time. We're not ready for that yet. It takes me like 3 hours to do our episodes.
So let's throw in some video clips and just complicate things.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was at the very beginning of that song, I did hear a lot of Zappa influence, but then as the techno pop started kicking in, I was getting a lot of Devo in that. It was, like I said, it was a nice mix between the two. It's not something I'd hunt down and try and find to listen to. I don't know how you guys ever stumbled across it, but it was actually kind of a, I don't know, amusing.
I think it was great how we stumbled upon it because we were just on Etsy, like looking at random things on Etsy, and somebody was selling this on Etsy for every reason I could understand. Like, why would you want to just have this album? I totally get it.
It sounds like the rabbit hole of Wish you just don't want to travel down sometimes.
Yeah, kind of, but like not as bad.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to have to rant about Wish a little.
Go ahead.
I'm not the only one who has Wish show up in their newsfeed on Facebook, but
No.
they never have a description of what they're showing. And 9 out of 10 times you can figure it out because it's like obvious. But sometimes there's shit they put on there and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
No, I've seen that.
And
And
if
it's
you click
usually
on it, then
shared
you
by
have to download
somebody.
it and all that crap. So
And then there's the ones where it's like, I know what that is and I don't want it on here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Too true. Two truths and a lie.
All right.
reached that point yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, bud.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, buddy.
So that was Dog Police.
Yeah, that was Dog Police.
I can only imagine what the rest of that
thoroughly
album would be
enjoyed
like.
It's exactly what you think it would be.
Yeah, we did listen to one other track, which was I think it was a riff on 800 numbers or like those 900 number commercials or something.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
called 1-800.
Oh,
and it was
okay.
pretty funny. Like I enjoyed the little bit that we heard of it.
now is the name of the band Dog Police, or is
Yes.
that okay?
As their
Oh,
self-named.
look at that Dog Police band. Oh, they even have a vest and a costume, and
Oh, they go all out, yeah.
And apparently the album was self-produced and then reissued just again in the 2000s on Police.
09.
Blue Vinyl. 09, yeah.
Yeah.
Limited edition. I may have to track that album down.
Well, we should have bought it when we were looking at it on Etsy.
well, you can get it on Apple Music, Spotify, at least by the search I just did here.
Yeah, we just played it off of Spotify. That's where it was coming from.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you keep that.
I might actually have to check this out because just some of these. No, seriously, some of the names of the songs. 1-800. What was that? Dog Police was the title of the album. They also have a song called Music
Hamburgers.
Uh-huh. Reproduce. Butch.
Are you middle class
enough?
I want to come out with an album called Album, and each song be like song 1, song 2, song 3.
But you can't do song 2 because you know what song that is.
What is song 2?
Woohoo!
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the song.
My band thought of doing the same thing, and we're like, oh no, because we don't want to be like those guys.
Yeah.
Always somebody there.
Those guys. Can't do
Those
song
guys.
3 either though, because that's Stone Sour's song 3.
You can't number songs. Everyone's already done it.
Well,
Yeah.
but you can always do it better, right?
But you could do track 1, track 2.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I don't think anyone's done that, and if they have, screw them.
Reinvent the wheel, Aaron.
Well, that's the story of how the Residents got their name. They sent a tape into Warner Brothers, and they hadn't included their names on it. So when Warner Brothers sent it back to them, they just addressed the envelope to the Residents.
There you go.
So they got their name.
The more you know.
The more you know.
I'm trying to think, that's basically all they had was just that one album, basically.
Yeah, it looks like the musicians in the band were all they were mostly studio musicians.
Okay.
So they were involved in a lot of other stuff, but
Sure.
this looks like this was a one-off. And it was on this program on MTV called Basement Tapes, where unsigned bands would send in videos to be shown on 120 Minutes. Now, I remember 120 Minutes, but I don't remember something on MTV called Basement Tapes. Like, that doesn't ring a bell.
I'm wondering if they actually want. Oh no, wait, that's a 2011 Japanese film, so no, that wouldn't work. Time frame wouldn't fit right.
Yeah, where are they now? I mean, I suppose they could look up the individual band members, but it doesn't sound like they've done anything as awesome as this since.
Nothing as awesome as this ever.
But I would like to have a conversation with Adam Sandler at some point about his involvement.
About the pilot. Yeah.
The pilot is terrible. Aaron and I watched like maybe 2 minutes of that, and like it was.
I thought I was going to wet myself.
Yeah. Every single dog. There's 3 dogs, and they all talk like they're channeling Humphrey Bogart, and it's just and that's terrible.
And the faces, the masks that these people wear. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's troublesome. Oh dear God. So that was Dog Police.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I mean, honestly, it by about halfway through the song, it was kind of starting to grow on me. By 3/4 of the song, the repetitiveness of it was starting to get annoying. But after a while, I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of catchy. Okay, I might have to indulge deeper into this, to see what other songs and what they're like. Of course, don't want any copyright issues, so we won't delve into it any further.
Yeah,
as far as music wise.
I might be misremembering, but I want to say that we listened to that 1-800 song, and I liked it. But
yeah, we watched some of the music video, and I can't handle difficult music like you can. So
I was going to say, as we've often discussed, I'm a fan of the difficult music, but
yeah. So speaking of things that are difficult, Justin, you hunt in a way.
Oh,
I want you to talk about the things you hunt.
I was like, what do you mean?
Talk about the things that you hunt, please. I want to hear about it a little more.
Oh, like all the paranormal. Is that what you'd be talking about?
I don't know. I'm not you.
Yeah. Well, ghost hunting. Yeah, I do that. That's true. What would you like to talk about? What do you want to know?
I don't know. Fill me in. Why do you do it?
Well, I started doing
this is what's called freeform. Just like, hey, do it.
Yeah. Well, so well, my dad started doing it, and I thought it was interesting. So called this bluff. I didn't think he was actually going to start doing it because who like hunts ghosts for real when they say they're going to do it?
Yeah.
So I was like interested, and so when it actually like took us places. So we went to Gettysburg. I've been there. The USS Salem in Quincy. We've investigated that place. Been to Lizzie Borden's house. We've been to quite a few places. S.K. Pierce Mansion in Gardner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Why does this sound like an episode of Ghost Hunters on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah,
You've been to all those
also we
places.
went to the Paracon in Plymouth where we actually met we met a few people in the Tennessee Wraith Chasers who they have a few shows. Porter and Doogie, they're pretty cool guys. Super nice. I also met John Zaffis. He was he's an alright guy.
He's an American.
Yeah, he's pretty much riding the coattails of his like aunt and uncle, but which Chris, you know though, the Warrens.
Oh, the Warrens. Yeah.
I've actually heard some stories. So when I went ghost hunting, we went on the USS Salem, and one of the guys he's like a paranormal guy in the field, and I'm not gonna shout names or anything, but he was talking about how he met John, and the last time he saw John Zaffis, the guy threatened him because he wrote an article about his aunt and uncle saying they weren't legit. The Warrens, which is like it made a lot of sense. He explained it to us, like how a lot of the books and everything, they hired fiction writers to write horror fiction writers to write their real stories, like the Haunting in Connecticut, which they kind of stretched the truth on a lot of it, like The Conjuring too.
Oh God, yeah, I know that. It's so funny that movie, The Conjuring, is supposed to be about that, and there's like nothing in that movie that
Not at all like that.
Yeah. My father could probably. I don't know if my father would even tell the stories, but I know one of the reasons we moved from Connecticut to Pennsylvania was to put some distance between us and the Warrens.
Yeah.
Ghosts. All I could picture was this episode of Family Guy, where Ted Nugent wakes up in the middle of the night and there's a ghost and he shoots the ghost and then he feeding the ghost to a group of people. I don't know. It was funny. That's all I wanted. I wanted that. Okay, all right, whatever. It's the exact reaction I craved.
Well,
It's funny. I brought it up. I used to watch the Ghost Hunters that was on the Sci-Fi Channel a lot. It's actually quite fascinating when you get down to it and watch what's involved in it. Some of it, it's done for television production value. But a lot of it, it's like, looks pretty darn believable. That, I hear a thump
it's
in the
interesting
middle
being
of
on
the
the
night.
other side of it too.
I mean, if I heard a thump in the middle of the night in a normally quiet house that doesn't normally do that, I'd be kind of wondering what that noise is myself. I could see, how is it? I mean, I've only seen it on television. How is it actually going out and doing such a thing? Is it, hair on the back of your neck stand up and stuff, or?
Sometimes a little bit. So I feel like there's only been a few times where I've been like kind of like sketched out or afraid of it. One was we were in Gettysburg. We went to a certain house. It was it was the Farnsworth house.
Okay.
And it was supposedly where a Confederate sniper may have shot the only civilian to die during the Battle of Gettysburg. And it was very haunted. It was super haunted. We stayed the night. It was my father and then our friend Bob, his friend Bob, and we all investigated with their own team. And it was probably some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen happening. We've had like connection. We brought our own equipment, and all the equipment was like they were communicating through our equipment, not theirs or anything. And it was like more believable because it wasn't all set up by them or anything. Also, one of the women that was running it, told us a story like right before we started. She's like, yeah, I don't want to scare you or anything, but last time we had an investigation, there was this guy who was never going to be allowed on an investigation here again because he gave this boy a spirit box. And for the people, listeners out there who don't know what a spirit box is, it's like a little radio, has frequencies, and it travels through and tries to pick up different like radio frequencies, so spirits could supposedly like talk through it, and that's how it works. And you just hear faint voices or whatever through the radio static, and that's like the point of trying to gain communication through that. And she said that he gave it to a little boy. The little boy started communicating with the spirit of the little boy, but it was very loud and dominant, and it was like saying like, oh, why don't you be my friend and stuff like that. And the kid was going along with it. And all of a sudden, all the other activity in the house went blank. Nothing happened. And like they got really concerned about the spirit box being really loud because normally it's really quiet. So they think they like had a demon be entered into the house, and that freaked me out.
Yeah, I could see that. It was funny too because after watching one of the episodes of that, I think it was after. Yeah, after I was in happened to go to Altoona to the Railroad Museum. And that, I guess, is supposedly haunted. When we were there was a couple times I kind of felt uneasy just walking through, but it wasn't something that it wasn't like really, oh my God, let's hurry up and get out of here. It was just like, okay, there's something weird happening, but I can't describe what it is right now.
So my sister just chimed in on the Facebook feed. She has a paranormal investigative group called the Green Monkey, and she says they went to a funeral home and some strange stuff was happening. Now, as somebody who worked in a funeral home for several years, I can't understand why a funeral home would be haunted because nobody dies in a funeral home. There's a lot of negative energy from all that grief and everything like centered in one place. So if you believe in like psychic imprints, there's definitely a lot going on there. But I know of one person that died at a funeral home, and it was a funeral director. But generally, people don't die in funeral homes.
No, and you'd figure by the time they hit a funeral home, their spirit's long gone, and it's or stuck where they were, and just the body gets transported to the funeral home and gets drained and refilled and prepped up to look good. So yeah, I could see why, I could see why you would think funeral homes would be haunted, but definitely not because of that reason,
It's the same with cemeteries. Like I'm always like, why would a spirit haunt a cemetery? Because it's just a final resting place for mortal remains. There's no spirit attachment to that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just a bag of bones that gets tossed in a box, thrown in it for lack of, a better way to describe it. The whole spirit and the personality of that person is gone. It's just there. So yeah, I don't see why people get freaked out by, especially going through a cemetery at night. Certain like where we grew up over in West Quincy, there was a cemetery. It had a road that drove right through it to get from one road to the next. And you had to drive through the cemetery attached to a church. And it was like, I'd get freaked out riding through there on my bike at say, dusk on a summer day. And now I look back and it's like, well, why? It's just a cemetery.
It's the same thing with zombie movies. Zombie movies frequently have the corpses rising out of the graves. And I can tell you for a fact that with the exception of old, like Revolutionary era cemeteries, those caskets are inside concrete grave liners. So even if those corpses reanimate, they ain't clawing their way out to the ground. They're stuck.
No, yeah, their bones had whittled down to nothing before they get through the concrete.
Hey, my wife just joined in. Everybody say hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Hello, Carrie.
That's all we had.
I think.
So, Justin, I don't know. My question to you, I guess, would be like, would you consider yourself a skeptic, or have you seen stuff now that makes you say, there might be some credence to all this?
So when I started, I definitely went in skeptic. And it was also like less serious, but as we went through it, it got way more serious, and we do things more legit and actually investigate. We've investigated some homes, and that was interesting too. But I think the first investigation we went on kind of made me lean more, and I have no idea why anything's happening, because we were at Lizzie Borden's house, and you ever see the little devices, the K2s, where it's like the black rectangular box with the lights on it that measures EMF.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So we had one of those set up upstairs, and there were supposedly children of Lizzie Borden's aunt, who, like, in the house next door, and like it was out back, supposedly murdered her children. She had postpartum depression and drowned them in the well. And so my dad was reading stories, like children's books, up there to the children. And I asked a question, is like, if you want him to read another story, make the lights light up twice. And then on command, they lit up twice. And then I just walked out of the room. I was like, I have no explanation for that, because it wasn't doing anything until I walked in there and asked it to do it. So that was one of the moments. And then you like feel a lot of stuff as you go to these different places. It's interesting. But how much is that of just you being in scary, creepy places and just the anxiety of that? You never know.
Yeah. From my limited viewing of the shows on TV, I'm always under the impression that it's just a bunch of people scaring the shit out of each other. You know,
yeah. It's like funniest thing on the funniest thing in the USS Salem, they also use it as a haunted house for part of the year during Halloween and stuff. So when they weren't doing that, they had a display that never got put away. So we were investigating the ship, and we walked by, and I walked by a room, and there's a man. It's a decoration of a man that's in an electric chair. And I just walked by to quickly looked in, and I almost shit myself. I was like, oh.
It's funny you say that, because my girlfriend's son worked that haunted house years ago. Some of what he has said, I can almost believe that you may not have caught anything, but it is possible that there are spirits roaming that ship.
Yeah, I think a couple people were killed in the building of the ship, right?
Maybe. I know there's supposedly a ghost of a dog on the ship, which is very interesting. Yeah.
I remember one thing.
Dog police or
I don't know. I took out a wasp nest in my backyard one time, and I was thinking to myself, like, how screwed would I be if they had ghosts? Like, it's bad enough to be by wasps, but ghost wasps.
Yeah.
But that's not a thing, apparently. I don't think wasps have souls.
they don't.
I don't think so.
All wasps suck. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, although they did invent paper mache, so. Yeah, the USS Salem. We've been to the Salem. I got a really cool, like, middle of the night tour of the Salem.
I've had a similar experience where you got to go below all the stuff you can't go into, right?
Yeah, we were in the bottom of the ship, and we found the firing pins to one of the main guns.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was fun. The guy that we went with, his name is Don, and he was saying, he's like, yeah, if there's a door, go for it, try it. And he even had he thought like so they had the doors, and some of the people, they would take the doorknobs off so you can't get in. There's like, oh well, instead of locking it, they would just take the doorknob off. And he's like, well, that's silly, because anyone can just grab a doorknob. So he had a doorknob in his backpack, and you could just put a doorknob on any door that didn't have one, get right in.
Note to self: carry around a doorknob just in case.
Yeah, just in case you need one. Be prepared.
See what you did there. Oh my gosh.
Ghost. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
that is one way of being prepared. Gonna have to add that to my tool collection as a doorknob, just in case. You never know. Couldn't you always draw one on a door on a wall and make a door out of it, or am I just thinking of a movie and it's only able to be done there?
I know that's a trope in a lot of cartoons. In fact, on one of our unreleased episodes of our podcast, I was talking about, and George, you might remember this. I think it was the Electric Company or one of those shows. There was this thing called, it was a little cartoon short called Simon, and it was about this kid who drew things and they came true. Like all his drawings came to life.
Do you remember that as a kid? Yes. But was it the Electric Company?
I don't think it was Sesame Street, but it was like one of those programs, Zoom.
Yeah, it was either Zoom or Sesame Street or there was Sesame Street, and then there was one for the next age bracket above that. I can't remember the name of the show.
3, 2, 1.
Electric Company. Thank you. As I get shouted it out from the next room, I'm like, oh, okay, that helps. Yeah, it was. It went Sesame Street, Electric Company, and then I think Zoom. But I think it might have been on the Electric Company with it. I remember the one distinctly you're talking about. He would draw something, and next thing you know, that thing came to life, whether it was a ship or whatever he drew. And when he drew the ship, he would jump on it and go sailing.
Yep, that's exactly. Oh, Kerry says it was the Electronic Company. It was the Electric Company.
No, it was the Electric Company, Kerry, not the Electronic Company.
Oh, she's gonna come down and smack me.
Okay. I'll actually pay money to see that.
Hey, Aaron, Zoe just came down looking for you.
Well, I'm upset.
Should be.
She was upset too.
Should be.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like the haunted house background. I thought that was appropriate for the conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. I was gonna do that, but my background's just shit, so I give it up.
I don't have any cool backgrounds like that.
Yeah, just eat on our podcast, Justin. That's fine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first person.
Easter, man. Easter candy. Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter. I'm going to ask the $8 million question. It always gets asked. Did you bring enough for the whole class?
Oh, yeah. Definitely did.
All right.
I know where you live, so
I'll throw it through the screen.
Thank you. I'll have to reassemble all the pixels on this end and enjoy it later.
Oh, yeah, Willy Wonka style.
There you go. TV Mike.
Yeah, it was a weird Easter today.
Yeah, I spent my day mostly watching crime shows, Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds.
It's a very good show. I also started watching Mindhunter. Have you seen that?
I have not. No.
It's like the creation of like the Bureau of like the BAU, the Behavioral Analysis Unit for the FBI. Yeah.
I think I might have caught that. Or at least one thing of it. That was a show, right?
Yeah,
Mindhunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's with the serial killers, yeah.
Right. I think I may have caught 1 or 2 episodes of it. And then
to start binging that.
Then it just kind of, I don't know. I lost interest.
Oh, it reminds me, I'm an episode behind on Better Call Saul, so I need to fix that.
I can never get into that one.
Oh,
is it good?
Yeah, it's really good. It's as good as Breaking Bad. It's
really. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I watched the first 2 seasons. And I just kind of stopped.
They're starting to catch up with Breaking Bad now, so a lot of the characters are bleeding over, and you can see things getting set up, which is kind of cool.
Did you watch El Camino? How was that?
That was good. I liked it. It was let me put it this way. It's kind of like the Solo movie. It was unnecessary, but it was thoroughly enjoyable, and I liked spending more time with Jesse. It was nice seeing him. What happened to him after he went screaming out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I recommend it.
Well, you're definitely talking over my head because I never caught any of those. As much as I want to sit, I got to sit and watch actually Breaking Bad from the beginning, and just
I don't like watching the stuff that anybody else likes.
Yeah, that's the best thing about Aaron. I'll say I'll be interested in anything. He won't like it, and he'll refuse to watch it
until you hate it, and then I'll watch it.
Until I hate it, and then he'll be like, okay, I'll
be like, wow, this is so cool.
The band Ghost can't do it.
Okay.
I've been playing the Cerise riff for a while, so.
Aaron, Tiger King, it sucks. Don't watch it.
Oh, too late.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I finally had the chance to be that guy.
Oh, okay. Curiosity.
Star Star Wars, man. He went.
I didn't really have a choice watching it. Star Wars is all Chris's fault.
I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Great game.
Yeah, I haven't played that.
It's cool because it introduced like how Palpatine does order like the Cinder, like the Operation Cinder. He uses robots, like introduce that. Yeah.
See, there's a whole thing in the comics I think that explains, and we talked about this, Justin, that I think explains
Yeah.
that a lot better. But that's just me.
Well, I think it's totally different than him, like how he ends up in the other movie, but
Yeah.
it's a different order, I think. Yeah.
So I have to ask, did you kick Deb out of the room, tell her like leave, or
No,
did she
no,
decide-
she's totally here. I told her she could totally join whenever she'd like. I don't know why she's not.
Yeah, it was funny. You bring up Star Wars. I remember as a kid going to every movie when it first came out, the first 3 that were released, which is episode 4, 5, and 6. And then when they, many years later now, did the first 3 episodes, I kind of watched it, but I don't know. Maybe I think it was the over-the-top CGI and everything that they added. I'm a purist. I like the old classic movies of it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's me.
Yeah, practical effects. It's more tactile. You know, you
Yeah.
feel it in the environment.
Chris,
But
do you
I
see
mean-
of the puppet version of episode 1 with Yoda as a puppet?
Yeah, I do.
That's sick.
Because I feel like that's way cooler than the CGI version.
No, the puppet was terrible. It looked like Yoda had AIDS.
But I guess why
Okay.
can't you just use the same thing? Why is it so hard? You have AIDS Yoda.
AIDS.
That was
Maybe
terrible.
that's the way it's supposed to be.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I want to see them redo the prequels like now.
a
See
gritty
how that would
reboot.
turn out.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Same cast though. I think it'd be hilarious with the same cast.
Same cast, just way
Yeah,
better.
but no,
Um,
no makeup, same age as they are now.
Wait a minute. I don't think you can do that.
No, you can't. So I think it'd be
Right.
great.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to say that, and we talked about this on the last live stream, but the deep fake with Ewan McGregor in place of Alec Guinness in episode 4, I liked it a lot, which is sad to say.
wow.
Aaron, you disappoint me.
Aaron, you hear that? You disappoint Deb.
I'm sorry, Deb.
It's okay, Aaron.
She's like that voice in the corner of the room.
Yes. Pay no attention to the woman behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain.
Get that, Deb? That's the only Wizard of Oz reference you're getting today.
I'm the stage manager.
She's setting up Justin
Wow.
for us.
Oh God.
What's it called? Sound direction or whatever? The people that work behind the plays.
Something like that.
Boom operator.
Yeah.
I won't do
Isn't that a
it.
song? Smooth operator.
It's smooth operator, not boom operator.
I-
But I'm sure we're yeah. Hold on. Today's the last day with the old tongue. I'm sure Weird Al would have some kind of parody for that though.
Carrie. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm sure Weird Al is going to have a coronavirus parody when this is all done.
Oh yeah. Or
I've heard
Tiger
some.
King.
I think
I've heard a few coronavirus songs.
I have too. I think the best one I've heard so far was Nick Stevens on EEI with instead of My Sharona.
My
No.
Yeah,
No.
there you go.
I love watching the videos of the like class of 2038 graduation. Everyone's named Coronavirus or Tiger King. Carol Baskin, I believe.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I can't.
Uh, Purella.
Oh, dear. Or Charmin. I'm going to name my kid Charmin.
Shaman.
Now, would you knock it off?
You know what I look forward to more than anything else when this is all done is friggin' 2-ply toilet paper. Because we managed to get our hands on toilet paper, but it's all single ply, and I'm really getting to know myself these days.
Just fold the
Yeah.
paper over itself.
Yeah, but there's a
1 + 1 = 2, Chris.
Yeah,
1
but there's-
ply plus 1 ply equals 2
my
ply.
quilted northern, damn it.
No, there's the roughness factor of that too, It's not just 1 ply or 2 ply. It's plush or look, I chafed all the skin off my ass.
It's murder on my hemorrhoids, boy.
Look, if I'm not wiping with steel wool or sandpaper, I'm happy. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Bet you bidet sales are going to go through the roof.
Well, you think?
I still like seeing the little kitchen hose hooked onto toilets and just calling it a day.
I was at the point where I was going to start waddling out into the front yard and just using the hose because who cares anymore? But thankfully, my mom came to our rescue, and one of my in-laws both saved us, and my neighbors because they don't have to see that. And I realized that if we're going to keep doing live casts, I should probably not have a chair that I can do this on because I'm moving around.
Yeah.
Well, why
No,
not?
I've been doing the same thing.
Yeah, but does your chair do this?
And then he just tips over and goes away.
No. I just leaned back, but yeah, almost did. I thought I was going on the floor at that point.
I have to be careful because I have an actual green screen behind me, and if I knock that down, it's going to be
Oh, it's going to be chaos.
a bad time. I have two Star Wars cardboard standees holding it up, so yeah, that would probably be funny to see, but it would be disastrous.
So I think we have about 4 minutes left. So I think we'll have to plan our time accordingly here. I mean, we really have as much time as we want, but we learned from last time people kind of give up after an hour. So
Wow, quitters. That's sad.
I know, isn't it? It's appalling.
It is appalling.
It's
It's kind
appalling.
of sad.
We're all about quality versus quantity, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not the whole box, just one.
Just-
Quality entertainment, Aaron. That's what I'm hearing.
I thoroughly enjoy real life happening beyond
Yes.
what we're trying to stage going on.
Now I'm wondering, was that a box of tissues you threw at her?
That wasn't box
That's why
tissue.
That's why she got the whole box and not one. Do you know how hard it is to get one tissue to sail that far?
You got to put a rock in it.
Yeah. And if you, then if it hits her the right way, then that's
Could
assault with a
catch
deadly
one
weapon.
tissue.
I hope that was in her mouth and not up her nose, because
No. That was up her nose. She did that on purpose. I could see that.
I hope she knows that's like there's a live audience.
there's 7 people watching. Yeah.
I
Oh
don't,
my God, I thought this was being recorded.
I don't know
Yeah,
how hard they are.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of the people that have tuned in, and I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. But you're a quiet bunch of mofo's because
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm the only one that like craves some sort of
Attention.
Attention.
dialogue, man.
We've got the dialogue here, but yes, added audience participation would be a nice thing.
Yeah,
Well, I want to throw in too that I'm sure this isn't going to be the last time we do a Zoom live cast with other people. So like instead of 3 people, it'd be more fun if there was more than 3 people.
more than 3 people.
Yeah,
Wow.
that signed up and only 2 that came. So
You put the invitation out there, so I said, all right, I might as
I'll
well
be
try.
back. You put the invitation. I'll be back.
yeah, you
George,
guys.
I'm psyched. I mean, this is going to sound like I'm just shitting on poor Justin here, but I'm psyched to have you on, George.
Well,
George
thank
is
you.
one of our listeners from day one. So
Yes.
Well, Yeah, it was.
I can't lie. I wasn't a fan at first, but then you grew on me.
like a fungus.
Yes. Well, it was one of those things. I was typing in chat the whole time, and it's like, wait a minute, am I the only one actually interested in wanting to communicate back and forth? So, but there was many a times. Actually, I think it was the first episode I listened to of yours. I listened to it on Anchor. There was, if people were like next to me, they'd say, who are you talking to? Because I'm listening to it in earbuds, just these nice little wireless things that. So of course it looks like I'm talking to myself when I'm going, oh yeah, to nobody.
3D headlights. Hate them. That was
So,
actually
yeah, it was. There was many times I wanted to just chime in, but I couldn't because it was a podcast. It's not like I could pick up the phone and say, "Hey guys, yeah, I can agree with that."
yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, you can definitely hear the difference from episode 1 through probably up until episode 4 is really where we got into how we do it now.
Yeah, and I
You
noticed.
probably hear the change.
I
I
think even
noticed.
by the third episode, you guys started having like a rhythm to it.
Yeah, the first 2 we did the same day at camp, and we were like, ha, yeah, this is what we're doing. And then we started doing it regularly. So I think we're recorded through April now.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we have the
Yeah,
next
and
3 episodes lined
definitely
up.
the camp audio was. How do we say it? It sucked.
Whack. It whack.
Yeah,
That was my phone, right, Aaron? Were we-
Putrid.
yeah,
but
that was your phone. Yeah,
but you know what? The content was there. That's all that mattered at that point.
Yeah.
You got your message out. Now that you've got a little more time invested, you've got things a little bit better off. The production quality stepped way up.
Oh, thank
I
you.
noticed that.
It's
You're welcome.
A lot of it goes into the mics and
Yeah.
GarageBand, believe it or not.
Oh yeah,
Garage
Yeah.
band.
that's you just also need just an audio editing software, and you could break it up and put like song in the middle as a break or something like that.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of which, well, we have captive people here before everyone leaves. On Wednesday, our next episode's coming out. We are reviewing Fat Boys and Little Men by Fat Boys and Little Men. Love the name. I think it's great.
Great band. Great band.
It's only an EP. It's 5 songs. So I mean, it's the shortest
That's the one I've
episode this
listened
month.
to, right?
It's what?
I've listened to that album, right? That's the one I've listened to, right?
There are
It's
going to be
got
2
Adam.
albums this month, Justin, that you've listened to before.
No, but like Fat Boys and
That's-
Little Men, that's
that's
the
one of
only
them.
one they have.
Oh
Does that
yeah,
band
no,
have
they,
one-
that's
Okay.
so fun. So what makes it esoteric, and because we've had a few people listen to it and go, well, that's not what I would consider esoteric. A lot of the things I've been picking lately have been pulled completely off of stores for some reason, and this is one of those. It's the first thing they put out, and then they pulled it completely off of everything. I happen to still find it on Bandcamp that I was able to pull and use the audio, but other than that, it's not on regularly available things. So
Interesting.
And it was an enjoyable album. I enjoyed it.
my favorite thing that you said was, "Wow, I would listen to this song in the truck," and that's how I know that I've suggested something good. I listen to it when I'm not thinking about it.
It's it's my personal soundtrack. If it's playing in the truck, then it's playing in my head.
But it's playing in my head.
Oh, I might have to. I think I might have an obscure thing that's not quite in the normal stream of things on my iPod. Where my music is stored.
That device.
My device, exactly.
Technology.
That's it. iTunes, yeah. I'll have to look through it and figure it out.
Yeah, I do. Speaking of technology, I do want to shout out here. Like one of the interesting things about this pandemic is that's why it occurred to Aaron and I to start doing some live streams just to sort of entertain ourselves. I'm going to be completely honest here. Like I have no desire to ever go back to meeting people in person. I could spend my life on Zoom and I'm happy. Like I'm good with this. This could be the world now. I'm okay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the worst thing about being out in public is the public.
Yeah. Well, I think that going forward, doing live streams probably be Zoom live streams from here on out.
Yeah, I like the style.
Because Chris kind of smells. So.
I showered tonight and everything. I got myself all pretty.
I made myself smell good for nobody.
Yeah. I even put product in my hair and everything.
I'm sorry. When you say product, I can't take you seriously.
No,
I put product in my hair. Just say what it is.
I put a product on my head. Does that help? Does that count?
Product placement.
Yes.
I got nothing.
I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm hopeful that that we may get a baseball season in.
Ah.
I don't know.
Potentially.
I watched marble racing the other day just because I was looking.
That's a thing.
That's
Yeah.
a thing.
The commentary was amazing too.
I actually watched it. I sat through a whole video of that. It was somebody posted or shared it on Facebook. I actually sat and watched the
That's probably
entire video.
I think that's probably the same one I watch, and it's gripping. Like
It is because I was
Oh.
watching this one marble, and I'm like, that one's gonna go. Look, he's passing. He can pass all the other marbles. I'm like, this is awesome. Is it a he or she? I don't know. Who cares? But they're ahead, and then all of a sudden, everything else passed that one, and that one marble ended up at the very end. I was very disappointed, but yeah, it was riveting. But what would be cool to see is that with Ozman reviewing it.
Oh, good lord!
He's the commentator.
Yeah, we discovered who's it? Aaron, you've heard Pam's played Ozman before, or were you at work? Had you started there when that was happening?
Considering I have no clue what you're talking about, no.
Ozman reviews.
Or Betsy took me. Who knows? So.
Well, I think it was. This is back when Game of Thrones was wrapping up. So. I think
Oh
that
yeah,
was,
no, that was way before me.
Yeah.
I was surprised that WrestleMania still happened without an audience. Like they still did that.
I saw something with them.
I did watch it. But they did
something. They was it? They were in between fights or something, and they were just like chilling out, and then they went back into it. And
Yeah.
It's funny. It's
Yeah,
really
we're
the
gonna-
E part of
weren't
WWE.
I was gonna say, weren't they considering doing that with like the NBA and the NHL and stuff?
Yeah.
Having the players
I
play
think it's
without
because
the audience.
players got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, NASCAR took it a step further and used iRacing.
Which I don't understand that because if you're in your own car, you're sealed off anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the don't they
Pit
change
crew,
tires and
like-
stuff?
Yeah, they get
pit
the
crew.
whole pit crew.
Yeah, but like that's less than.
Yeah, but the pit crew's already in protective gear anyway, so just add
Yeah, for real.
Right. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to watch it, but I'm sure from what I heard, it was pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah, I didn't tune into SNL, but apparently SNL, like I think they used Zoom. They all did like a virtual. So,
I think
Virtual skits.
I think I stopped watching SNL after Chris Farley was on it.
oh, the golden age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Not that
end
I
of the
remember.
golden age, because the golden age started with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, and then it went all the way up through till at least Chris Farley. After that, I have not been impressed by it.
Yeah, I've tuned in occasionally and seen good. I think my big problem with SNL is they don't know when to stop the skit that's not working. It just goes on, and you're like, oh, Jesus. All right, it ends. Right.
Yeah. Just shoot me now, please.
You know what this made me think of? This is a weird, obscure thing you guys might be interested in. I watched this documentary on Netflix called the Bill Murray stories.
Oh my God, I watched some of that.
I'm
Did you
gonna have
watch
to
that?
check that out.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's all about like these people who ordinary people like living their everyday life, and all of a sudden Bill Murray shows up out of nowhere, and it's just like a huge part of their life for like a little bit, but it's only like 3 seconds for Bill Murray. But he shows up and does random things, like he was at a college party washing dishes, or showed up to play kickball at a kickball game.
That's pretty random.
Yeah, it's like all random stuff.
Yeah. I'm actually, thank you for saying that. I'm gonna have to actually check that out to give me something other obscure to watch on Netflix.
Mr. Bill Murray.
Yeah, he's like the ultimate improvist. That's just how he lives his life.
Yeah, I've heard, and I'm assuming this is true. Like Bill Murray doesn't have an agent. He's got an 800 number and a fax.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
You fax him a script, he may or may not call you back.
Yeah, there was a huge showed up at Comic-Con, and they weren't sure if he was coming at all. And all of a sudden, he's just like, yeah, they're like, I think he's on the plane. I think he's coming. And like, Bill might be here. And all of a sudden, he just showed up like unannounced. He's like, oh, Bill Murray's here.
That's how you live your life. Nothing wrong with that.
Unfortunately, you can't live your life with a 9-to-5 job, though. Is he going to show up or isn't he going to show up? They kind of frown upon that, you know?
Yeah, bosses don't like that.
Nah.
Let's see. Oh, what is this? Oh, Facebook. Oh my God, I just left our live stream. I don't know what's going on anymore. Do we still have people watching us?
I'm watching it scroll through the feed here. You know, I'm watching the.
Hey, we reached
How many
400.
games downloaded on my phone?
There's only two new. Well, there's
And
Trivia Crack and Brain Test because I delete all the other ones. I'm done using them. I always delete them.
just reading the chat and on Facebook, and there was nothing wrong with Iron Chef. That was actually a good show. I wouldn't necessarily stay up all night binge watching it.
Oh, hey, why did this? There's a lot more chat going on than I was aware of.
Oh, you're on my phone. Never mind.
Gravity really. No, I keep using your
Sad
face.
now that there's all these comments going on that I didn't see. Oh, so my wonderful mother brought us over a huge thing of toilet paper last week, and according to my sister, she saved the 2-ply for herself.
Well, so that's when you go to visit your sister. You know, she'll roll out the good stuff of company.
Yeah, we have plenty of toilet paper now.
I just had a roller coaster of technical difficulties over here. Holy crap.
Whoa.
I couldn't hear you guys for a solid 5 minutes, so I hope you guys had fun talking.
Oh, I was wondering why you just weren't talking for that time.
Yeah, no, couldn't hear a word you were saying. So
Oh,
it's fun. I still haven't figured it out completely. I can only hear you out of one earbud now.
that's a
They're
shame.
both at 100% too. It's really weird.
Yeah,
How
that
is my
good.
audio quality by any chance? Probably terrible, right?
On a scale from 10 to shit, not bad.
All right, interesting. Yeah, next time I'll probably get a mic. Maybe make this more legit.
I sent you the link for the ones that we use.
Yeah, no, I just haven't gone around to that, Aaron.
At least you're getting a paycheck.
I am getting a paycheck, yeah. But at least you don't have to go and deal with the public here.
Ah, man, the public.
No,
Hate 'em.
that's where I'm like kind of torn. Yes, I'm getting a paycheck. That's awesome. Yeah, every
you're
day I'm
risking your
risking. Yeah, that's not so awesome. So I guess it's a balance. Oh, I was at a house one day, and the guy was like, right. If he was any closer, we'd be Siamese twins. And this was like 2 weeks ago. And he says, asked me, he said, do you need anything? I said, yeah, 6 feet.
Yeah, right.
What part of 6 feet don't you understand? You don't need to be standing next to me. I can do my job. I've been doing it 20 years. I might know what I'm doing. It's just, if I need help, I will call you. Then he ran off and did whatever it was he was doing.
I love that we suddenly live in a world where it's okay to go out wearing a mask and not being near people and telling them to get the hell away from you. Like, I've waited my whole life for this moment.
Yep.
I could don my stormtrooper armor and that would be socially acceptable.
Yes, it would. And you can go to the bank wearing it too.
Yeah.
Which I thought was always, as of late, kind of can you? I don't know. Should you go into a bank if you're going to make a deposit wearing a mask?
Hmm.
think anyone wearing a mask has ever gone into a bank and made a deposit.
I think you're right. I did. No, I wasn't wearing a mask that day. Damn.
Unscheduled withdrawal.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, I was doing a Star Wars promotion at a GameStop at the mall, and I was dressed as a stormtrooper. And security came over and told me I couldn't come out into the mall. And he was like, "Well, have a mask on. You could rob a bank." And I'm like, imagine the eyewitness that said it was the stormtrooper. Like, how hard is it going to be to find the stormtrooper?
I listened to last week's episode. Did you explain to the security guard that you were the Easter Bunny? I mean, come on. If the Easter Bunny can walk around in a costume with a mask on, so can a stormtrooper.
And when you're in a stormtrooper, like, you can't run, you can't see, so you're not getting dirty.
You trip over yourself before you get out the door.
And you can hear them coming from a mile away.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the little bit I listened to from last week's episode, was it last week's you did you was the Easter Bunny thing?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Or the latest episode. Because of course I listened to that a little bit while I was doing laundry to prep for this show. So okay. But yeah, was that only just a smidgen of the horror stories of the Easter Bunny, or was that pretty well everything that happened?
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was like 3 weeks I was in that suit, and
Ugh.
most of it was just sitting there and sweating and taking pictures. But
Right.
there was a few good. Sorry.
Getting
Pounded on the kid in the middle of the plaza was probably
the highlight of the career.
A highlight, life highlight,
Life highlight.
life highlight. Kick
I've done
shit
nothing
at-
better but beat up a kid in an Easter Bunny costume.
That's the highlight of my life.
I wonder, like, those kids that witness it, are there kids that grown up and, like, when I was little, I saw the Easter Bunny kicking the shit out of some kid in the mall.
Better yet, do they bring their own kids to go see the Easter Bunny or not?
Yeah, right. I never brought my kids to see the Easter Bunny.
Not this. I'm sure not this Easter. I know today, and not thinking that it's Easter and it was closed. It's just the fact that I think it's closed because it's really not essential, except for maybe the Cheesecake Factory or something like that at Social Plaza.
Yeah, our mall's open? That's a good question.
The parking lot was dead.
Ought to go.
I would think, like, I'm trying to think of the plaza in my head, and there's really not any essential businesses in there.
No, like I said, the Cheesecake Factory, because you can get that from the outside of the mall. You don't have to be in the mall to get there. So yeah, there and maybe Legal Seafood.
Buffalo Wild Wings, probably.
Yeah, because they're on the
Yeah,
outside.
it'll be
Yep.
takeout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a new T-shirt at Hot Topic, and I need it right now.
I needed
That's
it
essential.
yesterday.
It's essential.
Actually, now that I think about it, no, I don't think they are open because I drive 495 a lot, which you pass the Rentham outlets. Going up to the route I go up to Franklin and all that, and that place is a ghost town.
Hmm.
Their parking lot is empty. Normally, it's like at least half full on the highway side. So yeah, I don't think the malls are really open like we would once think they were. At least the Hanover Mall's closed. I know that for sure.
Yeah, poor Hanover Mall.
Yeah, I know.
That was a good mall. Oh, Target. Yeah, Target has an outside entrance, so they're probably open too.
Oh yeah, they may be open.
Which is sort of the irony of this whole situation. Like, I'm sure there are other people stuck in this situation. So I'm stuck at home, and I'm thinking, well, I get all this crap that I never got rid of. I can clear out stuff. You can't go to Goodwill. Curbside donations are done. If you put stuff out, nobody wants to touch it. The compost sites are closed. You can't get paper towels and stuff to clean. And like, if I was going to build a backyard barbecue, if you go to Lowe's, you really shouldn't be buying stuff like that. You should be buying essentials and getting the hell out. No, I get the time to do this.
My dad works at Lowe's, and they don't. I'm saying rather they don't.
People are buying seed and paint, and I mean, I understand you're stuck at home. Why not remodel? But Jesus Christ, people! All Simon-owned malls are closed. All right, so
Fair enough. There you go.
Plaza's closed.
That explains it.
That's probably most of them.
Yeah. Who would want to go to the mall anyways? Like,
Yeah, it'd be like Dawn of the Dead right now.
yeah, good movie. Richard Cheese. He's in
Richard.
that. Yeah, the son. You know, like the Down with the Sickness cover, Richard Cheese, Dawn of the Dead.
Get up. Come on, get down with the sickness.
I think the People Equal Shit cover is probably one of my favorites by him. That and Gin and Juice.
Nope.
Can't say I've heard of it, any of that.
Well, just the parodies, the Richard Cheese. Aaron, you know Richard Cheese.
I know exactly who he is. Yeah.
Interesting guy.
He does my neck, my back. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting cover artist.
He does like big band covers of popular songs. That's essentially what he is. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or fake flowers. Why do people need fake flowers?
In general.
Yeah, my sister works at Joanne, which apparently they're essential because people need to sew. It was
Aside from the material for masks, no, you don't need to buy fake flowers unless you have a ton of fake friends you want to give flowers to. But
Burn.
no.
champagne for real friends and real pain for sham friends.
Yep.
Oh, Chris.
Who the hell needs fake flowers ever? It's like fake fruit. My grandmother, my father's parents used to have fake fruit on the table, and I always thought that was the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I think my grandparents had fake fruit on the table as well.
Like, I don't like fruit enough to display it.
That's like the ultimate lie. Like, you're really trying to show, like, oh, I'm healthy, I eat fruit. And then you say, like, what if someone go, like, you have a guest over, they go take a bite out of a plastic apple? I'd be pissed.
But the funny part is the fruit never looks that real.
Yeah, it always
No.
looks shitty too.
But
It has like a bunch of bumps in it, some scratches. It's been tossed on the floor.
yeah,
The cat bit it. Like,
but have you noticed though that fake fruit? It's all the good fruit that you'd want to eat. It's not the
Yeah.
crap that nobody eats.
There's some persimmons down at the bottom.
There's grapes and apples and oranges, but you don't see like apricots on the top or
I'm sorry.
They're
Fuck
obscure.
pears.
yeah, pear.
pears.
I love pears. Man, pears are awesome.
Honestly, fuck pears, Aaron. I agree with that. Pears are kind of like a trash apple.
No, the
Yeah.
good pear I've ever had is the Bartlett pears in the syrup in the can.
Oh, you see, I can't do
Regular.
fruit in a can like
I
that.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
A regular like off the vine pear, maybe.
Oh, Bartlett pears are the best.
Yes.
Anytime, because when I used to work at a grocery store, we'd have one of those fruit and syrup things break. I'd start gagging. I can't stand the syrup at all.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Fake fruit.
Oh, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
Like, you know what? I'm going to get a bowl of fake fruit, and if anyone asks any questions, I'm going to be like, I really like fruit, but I don't like to eat it. I just like to look at it.
You know, back on the fake
Chris,
flowers
you know what
thing.
that makes you? An asshole.
You know, back on the fake flowers thing, I really hate the vases that have the fake flowers in it, but also have the fake water in it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Is it like the resin you're talking about? Like when they
Yeah,
have,
like the resin they have, so it almost looks like it's sitting in water.
Yeah.
It looks stupid.
yeah, but all right, going back to I see Jen's comment in the chat. You can only squeeze those fake grapes once. Then it's just no fun anymore.
Takes all the joy out of it.
It does. You just squeeze. Okay, now what?
It's like that wet styrofoam that comes with the real flowers. Like you can push it, you can squeeze it.
Oh, like the green styrofoam?
Yeah, you do it once,
Yeah.
so you can't do it again.
Yeah.
Push it, squeeze it, bop it.
Or when it dries out completely, you go to pick it up and it just goes poof to nothing.
I
Just green
always
dust.
thought those videos were weird. On Instagram, the videos of people smashing that green stuff, or they like running over with their car, like pour water on it. You ever see those? Like the weird ASMR? They do like ASMR videos with the green styrofoam.
Don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah.
So are you, Jess?
Aaron said it. I didn't.
Oh, Justin, I've known you for 11 years. That's fine.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Well, we're getting to 9:30 here, and I'm only saying that because my computer fan sounds like a jet engine.
It's like a Yeti.
Yeah, I spit.
Well, I do. I do have to recycle that coffee that I drank earlier. So.
Well, I guess I'll say to wrap things up then. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Our now 4 listeners. Check out our stuff as a podcast.com. We have a new episode out Wednesday. Fat Boys and Little Men, like we mentioned earlier. Talk to us. We're bored. It's quarantine time. We have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook page. Like it all. YouTube channel. This is going to be on there later. Did I forget anything?
Yeah, and so I'm thinking.
Yeah.
we will probably do another live stream next Sunday. When we were talking to Andy last week, he suggested maybe doing one where we have a topic like the 3 worst movies you've ever seen. So maybe we'll give ourselves.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. We usually come up with the plan for this like Thursday. So.
Well, it's better than coming up with it Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Well, what was the first one? It was Saturday night. You're like, hey, you want to do a podcast like tomorrow night, like a live stream? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
So we'll find out a little this time.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, everyone.
Well, George, Justin, thank you for
Hey,
joining us.
thank
today.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah. All right.
Anytime.
And I'm gonna stop the live stream.
All right.
Alrighty.